Hi everyone, welcome to the Coffee Chats and All of That series where we talk a little bit about a lot. I'm V.
I'm Z.
And this is a safe and judgment-free space where we want to be 100% with you about all our experiences. So grab your coffee and what appears to be water.
Yeah, it's not a tall glass of vodka, just some water today.
Or it could be tequila.
Dariba.
Whatever. Grab the beverage of your choice and let's get chit-chatting.
What are we chatting about today, V?
So, this week's topic is going to be a fun one. We're going to do a true or false type thing today, and it's growing up ethnic in Australia. So, for those of you who don't know, both Z and myself actually were not born in Australia.
No, B, where were you born?
The same place you were born, Z.
Awesome.
We were actually born in Europe. We were actually born in the same country, weren't we?
Yeah. Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yes.
The former Yugoslavia.
So we have a little bit of an ethnic background.
Do you live anywhere else in Europe, B?
I did actually, Z. I lived in Germany.
Wow, me too. How long were you in Germany?
Stop it. We were in Germany, I'd say about 7 years.
We were in Germany for 7 years too.
Stop, it's like we're the same
never met
person.
there.
I'm pretty sure we lived on opposite sides of the country.
We did. I was on the cool side.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
We've proven our worth. I think we've got our certificate authenticity.
I do want to put out a disclaimer that there might be certain terms or phrases that we use, and we don't use these to offend anyone or in any type of offensive way. These are just phrases that we're comfortable with using, and it's just for the sake of the video, just to have a little bit of fun.
Sure.
Okay, so I've got 14 things written down here.
14 true or false questions.
And let's see how many of them are true for us.
So where did you find these questions? Is this just our hottest Google searches?
It is.
Alright, here we go.
So these
Google's
are, I guess,
top 14.
These are the most stereotypical things that Google showed me about growing up ethnic in Australia. The first one.
Here's what I found.
Oh, Siri's going to tell you. She's not happy that we asked Google. Siri wants to be in. It's Apple or die.
Siri wants to be part of the fun. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, the first one is, you lived in southwestern Sydney. Indeed we did.
True. Is that the question?
That is. No, it's not like a question, it's just like a statement.
Why are people searching this on Google?
I don't know. But apparently if you're ethnic and you're growing up in Australia, you would have lived in southwestern Sydney.
That we did.
Although southwestern Sydney kind of covers a large area, so chances are you did actually live there.
We actually met in a kebab shop. No, we didn't. We didn't. There is a lot of kebab shops though, and God, were they good. Nobody does kebabs quite like the Western Sydney folk.
I've had some good kebabs here in Canberra.
I've had good kebabs here, but they're not like those ones.
It's a little bit different because a lot of the kebab shops in Sydney that we went to are more like the Lebanese type kebabs, whereas here in Canberra, they're very much like the Turkish style kebabs, and they're a little bit different.
Yes, thank you. The more you know with B. Hashtag. Right here's your hashtag. The more you know with B. So that was true. We both grew up in Western Sydney.
We did, yes.
Southwest.
Okay, number 2. You used to be hit with a wooden spoon by your mum.
Oh yes.
By your mum?
Yes. My mother, my father, my grandmother.
You never told me your mum hit you. I knew your dad.
That's a Saturday tradition. Get the wooden spoon out. The youngest child, bam!
Do you know what my mum used to do? We used to go for like a walk through a local park or whatever, and she used to observe the trees, and she'd be like, "Oh, this tree branch looks like it would hurt if you're naughty." The tree branch was
the worst too, and they'll just pluck those leaves right in front of you, and you know what's coming.
So she would like get it like from the park, and on the home she's like, if you're going to be naughty this week, this is the branch that will meet your bum.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was exclusively the wooden spoon. our ethnic parents are very opportunistic punishers. So whatever was on hand, sometimes it was the wooden spoon, sometimes it was the ladle, sometimes it'd be their thongs, whatever it was. And the worst was with their thong, they'll throw it at you, and then they'll tell you to get it back, and you bring it back to them, and you know that they're going to throw it back at you, so you're tentatively trying to take your time, and you give it back, and you walk away, and then they throw it at you again. These people are crazy, man.
We were never hit with thongs or anything like that. Like my dad would never hit us. He never laid a hand on us, which is weird because mum would always hit us. It was always her bare hand.
Yeah.
Although my sister did get hit once with, you know, the wooden thing that you use for your shoes?
Oh,
for
yeah,
your shoes on?
shoehorn. I don't know why it's called a shoehorn. It doesn't make a noise.
Well, my mum hit her and it broke. Shit.
I mean, to be fair to our parents, I think me and my brother probably deserved a few of them. I remember we were on a fishing trip and Dad was sitting there fishing, avid fisherman, loves his fishing. He had the bell on his rod, so we'd take turns while he was sitting there tapping the bell, giving it a ding, and he'd get up and like eagerly try to get it until he realised it was us and then whipped us with his fishing rod. Oh no!
Oh, that would have hurt too.
It was so worth it. Tears of laughter and pain.
So basically, yes, not just the wooden spoon, but anything.
Any kitchen utensils.
Yeah. Number 3, you were only allowed to sleep at your grandmother's house. For us, our grandmother lived with us.
Yeah, I was going to say I've lived with my grandma for my whole life.
But having said that,
I remember.
Having said that, we were not allowed to sleep at anyone's house unless it was a cousin.
Yeah, I think it's very different for boys and girls. As a boy, I mean, I didn't have a girl in my house, you didn't have a boy in your house. So yeah, we pretty much were able to sleep wherever we wanted, whenever we wanted.
When I first met Z, he's like, oh, why don't you sleep over at my house? And literally my eyes went, oh, I don't think I could ask my parents to sleep at your house.
So I just invited myself over to her house and we spent a long night there. To which I find out years later, her parents were like, why is this boy still here? Why hasn't he left? And I'm like, yo, I'm chilling.
Hashtag good times.
Hashtag real talk.
Okay, number 4. You used to bring pita, burek, kobasice, pashteta and cevapi to school lunches. I think this is a very Yugo thing.
Yeah, look, my parents were terrible lunch packers. I never had my lunch packed, or I'd end up just either just throwing some things if there was leftovers. Otherwise, it'd just be trying to find a way to scrounge to get some lunch at school.
I don't think I've ever taken burek to school.
100% we did. For those wondering, burek is a pastry, meaty, potatoey, vegetable-y wrapped piece of heaven.
Yes, and Bektash burek makes the best ones in Canberra.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a bold statement to make, I know, but it's true.
I also make burek now, so they might have some competition.
Both my parents worked really early, so I would pack mine and my sister's school lunches, and normally I would just make like Nutella sandwiches.
I can see your mum packing. Your mum still packs your dad's lunches. So.
But oddly enough, for the most part, I packed our lunches. But yeah, most of the time I just had something boring like peanut butter or Nutella.
Yeah, if I brought something, it was always leftovers.
All right, next one.
Next one.
Your parents made everything from scratch. Yes, actually.
Yeah. They'll probably do more so now that we've moved out and they're health conscious.
Well, when your dad makes burek, like
But
he makes the
yeah,
pastry.
no, like there's a few things, like there was a few things that they'd make and they'd make it from scratch. We were very rarely would eat out or order pizzas or get Maccas, or there was always something cooked at home. We just thought it was a big treat if we were able to get some takeaway, order pizzas, or ended up being something you end up doing more with your friends than you do with your family.
And my mum used to make like pasta dishes, and she would make all the pasta sauces from scratch.
Yeah.
We never bought like Legos.
We
How do you
put
say
the
it?
good things in, so you get the dolmy or green.
Yeah, she bought none of that.
No.
She would always make it herself.
We don't actually have portion control, so they'll make a pasta for 3 that's enough to feed a family of 20. So you actually end up having the same meal for like 4 days in a row.
It's really funny because like when I lived with mum and dad, and obviously I started cooking, I used to make like heaps because, well, one, my dad would eat so much, but then, you know, we were always, used to having things for a few days. So when I moved in with Z and I started cooking, I like didn't get my portions correct, I would make like a pasta dish and we'd eat it for a week because I made so much.
And now we just do it because it's easier.
Just chuck the bad boy in the freezer.
When you
and
plan
good to
your
go.
week's meals, it's like, okay, we're having this for dinner. All right, so tomorrow's lunch is sorted. What are we doing for dinner the next day? Okay, the next day's lunch is sorted.
That's the easiest way to food prep though, isn't it?
There you go. I'm gonna focus on your. Go on.
He's gonna focus on your
Hmm.
watching you. Okay. People would mispronounce your name. Well, they still do.
I don't even know sometimes how to say my name. Like, it's just blah, 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 blah.
When we used to live in Belconnen and we ordered pizza capers one time, and I think you put it under your name. Oh, you definitely did put it under your name. I walked in there to pick it up and the guy was like, oh, what name is it under? And he was like the soccer player? And I was like, yes, indeed, like the soccer player.
Yeah.
And his
Yeah.
face just dropped like, what?
Yeah. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is my claim to fame. So anybody that plays football, I can get away with it. But this is also why we are, I'm B and I'm Z. She's B and I'm Z.
I'm B and I'm Z.
And I think that's the next one. Yes, people get our names wrong.
Next one. You couldn't be bothered explaining the complex family tree, so everyone was referred to as an uncle, an aunt, or a cousin. 100%.
Yeah, it was, for me, I grew up with my parents, my mum's parents, and my mum's sister, and like her kids and husband. So I didn't have a big family here that I've grown up with. We've got more family overseas, but
We have a massive family, and it's like 6 cousins, 4 times removed. We even have family friends that we were so close with that we just referred to them, oh, that's my cousin, because it was just so much easier.
Look, I mean, if you've seen my big fat Greek wedding, that's basically her life.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
It was when I was younger.
Your mum makes a great cake with a hole in the middle. So
It's a bunt.
it's a
Bunt. I used to go to primary schools with my cousins. Technically, they're like my aunties and uncles if you go through the complex family tree. I remember one time we tried to explain it to a few people and their faces were just like, huh? So we were just like, all right, cousin.
Yeah, when your auntie is like a month older than you.
When people were like, how are you related? So it's just not worth it. Just cousin and that's it.
So yeah, big family for her, not so much for this guy.
Your dad yelled into the phone.
My parents still yell into the phone.
But that's because they're older and probably their hearing is not as good as it used to be.
No, they do. I don't think that's exclusive to ethnics. I think the older you get, the more you just tend to yell.
It's pretty funny because dad would generally be quite loud on the phone when he's talking to his friend, whatever. But if he's talking to somebody overseas on the phone, oh my gosh, it's like next level volume.
There is a proportion to how, the person you're talking to and how far they are from you. If you're calling someone in the next suburb, it's like a medium volume. If you're calling somebody in the next state, you're a little bit louder again. If you're calling international, you got to yell because they're so far away. That voice has got to travel so fast. So.
One time my mum was video chatting with her sister overseas and she was yelling into the phone and I'm like, Mum, it doesn't matter if you yell or whisper, she will still hear you the same because the microphone will pick it up.
But it has to travel so far.
I don't understand this. You did the accent better than me. I'm not very good.
Oh yeah.
Aye. You had a second fancy living room that was actually never used. Guilty as charged.
No, we had our living room and then our kitchen dining room. So
Did your parents ever put plastic over
the furniture?
seats or
No.
anything?
That's Everybody Loves Raymond Marie stuff right there.
Happened in our household.
I have had friends and people who I've stayed at who had that, and it's not pleasant. It's sticky, it's sweaty. And
We had this ugly coffee table. It was so ugly. And my mum used to knit the little woggy looking table decoration cloth things. And then over the top, she put this glass case thing so that the table doesn't get damaged. Mind you, it was a wooden coffee table. And it was so hideous. I hated it so much that one day I said to my sister, I'm going to destroy this table so we can buy a proper nice table. So I sat on it and it cracked, and then we had to buy a new table.
That's pretty funny. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. But yes, pretty much we did have a second living room that was never used. It had leather couches. Ugh.
We did have the cutlery that would come out with the special guests.
Oh yeah, the Slava cutlery.
Yeah, the Slava is a Saint Day celebration.
Pretty much it's all like fancy, all the fancy like plates, all the fancy tablecloths come out, everything's fancy.
It's Saint Day, but it's also Judgment Day, where you get to judge the people you're going to.
Oh yeah, judgment in the community is
And
hella
see
big.
who done it best. His turkey was bigger than my turkey.
It is crazy like how much love and care and support there is in the community, but it's also crazy that like there's so much judgment.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition.
Moving along.
Made for great meals, I can say that much.
When your friends came over, they were asked if they were hungry at least 1,000 times. Yeah.
Not really. We actually had like a little basement room. So
Basement room? You
Yeah,
don't
like-
have a basement
yeah,
room.
and like when you go through the garage, that room where the exercise equipment is.
Oh, okay. Was that
Like
like
exercise equipment, they've got like a cross trainer from like the 60s that they pretend to use. But yeah, so we had like a TV and we had the PlayStation
that
down
was your
there and
little hangout crib
yeah,
area.
so we kind of hang out there and stay away from the parents. So
That's
I don't know.
cute.
When I had people come over, we generally either just hung out in my room, or my parents weren't really that involved when we had people over.
Oh, my dad straight away. Would you like something to drink?
Mm.
He doesn't sound like that, but I can't. I don't
That's
know.
exactly what he sounds like to me. He just
What would you
I
like?
thought he was in the room here with us.
Would you like some water? Would you like some Coca-Cola? Some rakia maybe? And every 10 minutes he would come and he would be like, have you asked your friends if they want something to drink? Like, yes, Dad.
And you can't say no. I remember the first night I stayed over at Bee's house was to watch the Champions League game with her dad. 4 a.m. in the morning, get up. Obviously we're in like separate rooms in the house.
Obviously.
But yeah, waking up 4 a.m. just to watch the game. I'm like just ready to chill. And he's like, would you like some rakia? And that's basically like vodka, if it was drinking vodka. So vodka on vodka. And
I think it's a bit more harsh than vodka.
that's what I'm saying. Like if vodka was drinking a lot of vodka.
Okay, I understand, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, you want some? And I was like, okay, like, sure, I can't say no. I've got to be the big man that's going to date his daughter. And he comes out.
This was before we were dating? While we were like seeing each other?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have stayed at your house if we weren't seeing each other. Well, I think we might have been dating. Anyway, we like grew up in the Australian culture where shots are for shots. You do a shot, you down it. So he gives it there and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to get this out of the way. And this guy just picks up his shot glass, takes a little sip and puts it back down. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to like drag this out longer than I have to. So I'm like, I can't shoot it. So I'm like, no, yeah, this is really nice. And then he had some nuts there. So like I'd take some nuts every time afterwards to try and wash away the taste.
I think I've had rakia like a handful times in my life, and every single time I need to down it because you cannot sip that thing.
It's not.
You cannot. It is next level.
I mean, look, I've had it
burning.
in more and more times now where I could probably get away with sipping it, but I would not enjoy it.
But he does. He literally sips it. I don't think I've ever seen him down it as a shot.
No. It's
He'll
a waste.
sip it, have his little nuts and his fruit, sip some more.
prunes, some cheese,
Some smoked meat.
some smoked meats, some prosciutto.
Family gatherings ended in a musical affair.
Yeah, didn't, like I said, not a big family, not a lot of family gatherings, so we'd normally just eat and chill. It wasn't really like a big dance party.
Not necessarily a musical affair. It would be like talking really loudly till like 3 a.m. in the morning. The men would usually get drunk. Maybe sometimes the women as well.
If they weren't driving.
Yeah, that's true. Otherwise they would just pass out on a couch or something. But yeah, I guess for some people, maybe it ends in like a musical affair. I wouldn't have minded that. That would have been fun. Any kind of gathering though
Gatherings.
always ends up with people say, okay, we're gonna leave now. Okay, bye, bye, bye. And then you just end up standing out on the porch for like an hour still chatting. I don't know what it is, but in my household, like every time somebody came, even if it wasn't like mine or my sister's friend, if it was like my parents' friends, we still had to go and say hello to them, and if they were leaving we had to go and say goodbye to them, even though like we didn't interact with, like we would just stay in
That's
our
just
room.
polite.
I don't know, we just literally all the time. So
It's the same way when people come over and we're like, this is Flash, and then when they leave we're like, Flash, come say goodbye.
but like they would leave and we would be like, okay, we're good to go say goodbye to such and such. So we say goodbye and then they're on the porch, and then we're just like standing talking for an hour on the porch. And I remember I used to hate it in winter because it was so bloody cold. I was like, bruv, I want to get inside,
I don't even
bruv.
think you're like doing the story justice. It's like you start in the living room and everyone will say goodbye and shake hands, and then you'll get up where they put their shoes on, and then that's at the front of like inside, and they'll always, you know, for another half an hour saying goodbye, shake hands again, go outside because you can't close the door on people, and then you again talk for another hour, shake hands, say goodbye, and then you have to wait for them to get in the car and drive off. You can't just, you know, bye, go in your house. It's like, no, it's cold, I'm gonna stand here now. Okay, get in your car, and then you've got that one uncle who just sits in his car for like 10 minutes and you're like, get out of here,
Just
get out of
waving.
here.
Even now I've noticed like when our friends come over and then they leave, I'll like wait outside until they leave, waving at them. I don't know why.
I'm in my living room, like, see you next time.
Bye, Felicia.
But that's why you see a lot of walk houses now at the front. They've normally got a chair and a table because they're just preparing for that exit interview, so that when they're on their way out, they can just sit.
Yeah. It was customary to kiss everyone hello and goodbye.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not once, not twice, 3 times.
Depends.
Hi, how are you? And it's always left first. You don't go right, otherwise you end up making out.
What do you mean left first? I don't really.
You always go left first.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do, because if they go left and you go right, then it's just, oops, sorry.
I mean, it really depends. Like, we had a lot of Croatian friends that would come over and that would just be 2 kisses. And then we had, like, just other friends that would come over and that might just be 1 kiss.
I think it's just generally the older your guest, the more kisses you have to give them. If there's somebody your age, it's a fist bump. 1 generation up, it's a kiss.
The
2
worst.
generations, 1-1.
And the worst is the ones where they like, and this reminds me of Ross from Friends, but literally you would have some people that would come over and they would literally like, instead of like kissing cheek to cheek, they would like kiss you right like on the corner of the mouth. And you're like, what the frick, man? It's like,
kissing, not
bruv, this
making out.
isn't... Yeah, it was
Not the
pretty
kissing booth.
creepy. And I know like, your parents' friends would come over and I'd be like 13, 14, 15, 16, you know, in my teens. And then you would like kiss these adult men hello. It's a bit creepy, right?
Well, when you say it like that,
How creepy is it, but right? Like, it's custom.
it's
It's normal, normalized.
Yeah.
And I think like, just think about, I'll let that
Yeah.
sit,
Let that
simmer
brew.
for a little bit.
And there's always be a few where like you'd go for 1 kiss and then you pull away and then you see him going in for a second one, and then there's that
You're like,
awkward.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, 1 more here. It is. People love kisses.
The best is like in high school. I don't know if this happened in your or maybe not you. It might be more girls than boys. But in high school, like when you saw your friends, you used to like kiss, just like kiss hello. Oh hey girl. And like sometimes you saw people that weren't really in your friend circle, and you'd be like, oh hey girl, and then you'd see them like, and you're like, oh okay, I guess we're kissing.
Some mean girls stuff.
You didn't like.
Oh,
kiss
yeah, me and
hello
the
to
boys
girls.
kiss- yeah, we
no,
did
not the boys.
sometimes.
The girls would come up and be like, oh hey Z,
Oh yeah, all the time.
how was
All the
chemistry?
time. Still do. I'm walking in the shops.
See you in maths class.
Like, are you the guy from Coffee Chats and all that? I was like, stop it, ladies. Stop it.
But yeah, pretty much kissing all the time.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But why? Why on the lips? Lucky
Okay.
last. Lucky last. What
Last
do we got?
one. You weren't allowed to book anything on Saturday mornings, as these were reserved for house cleaning. Pretty much.
I mean, that's my life now. She reserves my Saturday morning. Actually, at the moment, it's Fridays. Fridays are cleaning
Friday's
days.
cleaning day.
So don't you dare. Don't book anything on Friday.
Look, there's this really funny chick on TikTok. Her name is Dr. Amila, I think. She is hilarious. But she did this TikTok, and I think she lives in Switzerland or Sweden. Let's go Switzerland, because
Switzerland.
Switzerland. she says like her Swiss friends on a Saturday are like, we're going to the zoo, we're going to the cinema, it's a beautiful day, we're going out for a picnic. And then she says her mum is like, oh, it's a glorious Saturday, you know, it's the perfect day for, and then she'll guess like, oh mum, are we going to the cinema, are we going for a picnic? And her mum's like, no, we're gonna wash the windows. And that was my life.
What nationality is this chick?
I think she's Bosnian. It hits home, to be honest, because every Saturday we'd literally wake up, have breakfast. Granted, mum would make a delicious breakfast. But after that, it
every day
was
of the week, though.
dusting the skirtings, scrubbing the bathrooms, mopping the floors, vacuuming the chandeliers. Like,
Do you have chandeliers at home?
no, what are they
Fancy.
called? Light fixtures. Is that what they're called? Cleaning the windows, cleaning the gutters, cleaning anything and everything, while our friends were out having fun.
Yeah, again, not me. There was times when I'd be like, oh, I want to go out, and they'd be like, all right, make sure you do this first, and then you do that.
So when you were growing up, because it might be like a girl-boy thing, because we were girls, mum would always make us clean. So sexist. Sexist. Did your parents ever make you clean?
Of course we cleaned.
Like what? Because whenever I tell you to clean something, you're like, why are we cleaning that? I would never think to clean that.
Vacuuming. That's because I've got traumatized from doing it in my youth. Vacuuming, mopping, scrubbing, painting, everything. Dishes, mowing the lawns.
You mowed the lawns.
Did you ever mow the lawns?
No.
Sexist. When we talk about sexist, how many times did you clean the gutters?
Ain't nobody. A few times.
You never cleaned the gutters.
Are you kidding? At mum's house I did.
You got on a ladder and you cleaned the gutters. Your dad would be mad if you did anything
I
outside
was
because
helping-
that would
I
mean
was
that he would have to
helping
go
him.
inside and speak with his wife.
Oh, and this is a whole other thing. Do not wear your inside shoes outside and then come back inside. No, that is like death. Who's bothered to switch shoes? Like if I'm just gonna go to the mailbox, I'm gonna go in my house slippers, check the mail, come back. Like seriously, it's no big deal. If my dad saw me doing that, oh my god, I would get a lecture for like 2 hours of how that is not good, how that now requires cleaning the house because you've taken dirt from the driveway, taken it into the house.
It's pretty funny because you'll go outside in your like indoor shoes, like even now for you, but you'd be more mad if I wore my outside shoes inside than my inside shoes outside and came back in.
Well, because like your outside shoes, you're like literally outside all the time. But with these ones, I'm literally just going to the mailbox. It's not like I'm going to the shops in my slippers. You know, I'll just like go quickly do the washing outside. So like I'm still in my...
As long as it's on your property outside, it doesn't have dirt on it.
Not like this guy who went, what was it, barefoot, and you walked the baby down the street and then the neighbour's like, are you going for a walk barefoot?
I wasn't even down the street, it was just on my driveway. Let us know if you want to hear that story.
Pretty much the neighbour was just like, dude, put some shoes on.
G'day, mate.
I remember when I first met Z, he used to just wear just stuff that you would not want to wear outside. And I'd be like, you're going to the shops like that? And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to the shops. And I'm like, yeah, but at least put on some jeans. What will people think?
What do you wear when you go to the shops now?
Trackies.
There you go.
You've rubbed
She's
off on
converted.
me.
You're welcome. Nobody got time to be putting on jeans to go buy lettuce.
Not now. I think COVID has made loungewear a thing, so everyone just wears loungewear everywhere. I remember once I was in church with mum and there was some guy wearing trackies to church. Oh, God forbid somebody wore trackies to church. All the women were like, because
Adios míos.
it's church, you have to dress up super nicely.
The big man's always watching.
That's it.
See?
That was
Short and sweet.
short
Wipe
and
your hands
sweet.
off it.
Have you got anything else to add?
No. Next time on how to drink out of a mug.
Anyways, that's it, guys. I'm thinking next time maybe we get some guest speakers. What? Yeah, that'll be fun. And also subscribe to Lunch with Bee and The Gaming Couch, which I will link down below, because we love your support. Okay, till next time, everybody. Bye.
Peace.